Welcome, CPOs and supply chain leaders, to this executive briefing explainer. Look, if you're tuning in today, you already know the procurement landscape is completely shifting. But let's just get one critical reality out of the way right from the jump. The era of cautious, let's just test the waters AI experimentation, yeah, it's officially over. We are decisively moving into scaled, enterprise-wide deployment. Today, we're going to unpack exactly what that means for your operations, your tech stack, and crucially, your teams. Let's hit the bottom line right up front with a massive number, 86%. By the end of 2026, 86% of organizations are planning to scale their AI implementations enterprise-wide. I mean, really think about what that means. If your team is still running, isolated pilot programs or treating AI like some fun side project, you are rapidly falling behind the curve. The top-down mandate is crystal clear here. It is time to scale. And to really grasp the sheer weight of this transformation, consider this. The AI-powered sourcing market is projected to reach an absolutely astounding $37.7 billion by 2032. That's billion with a B. This isn't just some incremental software update we're talking about. This is a massive influx of capital that is fundamentally rewiring how B2B transactions and global supplier management actually operate day to day. To help you navigate this transition to autonomous workflows, today's explainer is built around 5 core pillars: the 2026 AI Mandate, autonomous sourcing and discovery, real-time risk and ESG, executing transactions via chat, and finally, building the future procurement team. Let's get right into it. Kicking things off with Section 1, the 2026 AI Mandate, moving past the hype to autonomous enterprise workflows. So check this out. By 2026, 40% of all enterprise applications are going to embed AI agents directly into operational workflows. This is a total paradigm shift. We're moving procurement away from those passive insights, where a static dashboard basically just tells you what went wrong yesterday, to truly autonomous action. We're talking about AI agents embedded directly in your tools to actively discover, vet, and actually make decisions for you. Moving right along to Section 2, autonomous sourcing and discovery, and how we are radically reducing cycle times. Okay, so we are officially abandoning the old traditional procurement headaches. You know the drill, relying on manual keyword searches, static databases that are literally outdated the second they're published, and weeks of just tedious manual vetting. Nobody has time for that anymore. Instead, platforms like Find My Factory are using agentic intelligence to run continuous crawling and autonomous compliance checks. The result? A massive reduction in the research to quotation phase. We're talking about slashing cycle times by up to 80%. You're literally replacing manual labor with intelligent, continuous automation. Now, you might be wondering, how exactly does this kind of speed happen? Well, it's a 3-step process. First, natural language processing interprets your complex sourcing requirements, which means no more rigid, frustrating Boolean search strings, thank goodness. Second, AI agents autonomously crawl millions of global manufacturer profiles, and they don't sleep. They're continuously scanning 24/7. Third, your team gets pre-qualified supplier shortlists in hours, not weeks. Look, if you're trying to execute aggressive friendshoring or nearshoring strategies amidst all of today's trade uncertainty, this is an absolute game changer, for sure. Next up is Section 3, Real-Time Risk and ESG. We're talking about eliminating those dangerous 3 to 6 month blind spots. Think about your traditional financial and geopolitical audits. They really just give you a point-in-time snapshot, right? That leaves you with a seriously dangerous 3 to 6 month blind spot between reviews. It's like driving with your eyes closed half the time. But today's agentic AI approach, it provides continuous 24/7 alerts. And when we look at evolving ESG frameworks like CBAM and CSRD, annual reporting just isn't going to cut it anymore. Platforms like Find My Factory provide real-time, ongoing compliance tracking. It completely replaces that manual vulnerability with a continuous, always-on AI shield. And here is a crucial takeaway. We are entering the era of what we call zero-click procurement intelligence. Because AI overviews and answer engines are totally dominating B2B research now, your team is increasingly going to consume intelligence through AI-generated summaries, rather than manually clicking through dozens of different supplier websites. So, in this new zero-click landscape, brand citation frequency, basically how often and how positively an AI model cites a supplier in its summaries, becomes a critical new metric for your team to master. All right, let's dive into Section 4, Executing Transactions via Chat. Let's look at the actual tech stack powering this autonomous buying. To really wrap your head around this shift, you've got to understand the Model Context Protocol, or MCP for short. This is literally the missing link, guys. It enables AI agents to discover products and execute transactions autonomously directly within large language models like Chatgpt or Gemini. Basically, MCP is the key that unlocks AI's ability to move way beyond just doing research. It allows agents to securely pull the trigger on purchasing actions right within the chat interfaces your team is already using every day. And all of this builds to a massive execution shift across the industry. Major players like SAP are already rolling out an MCP server for their Commerce Cloud. We're seeing predictive intelligence move straight into immediate action. AI is automatically drafting contract language and generating negotiation recommendations. Actually, taking it a step further, renewals can literally be executed by agents within your predefined policy limits, all powered by API-first architectures. Ultimately, this leads us to generative UIs, where the AI dynamically builds your interface on the fly based exactly on what you need in that moment, instantly rendering risk heat maps or category analyses, and completely replacing the need to navigate through static, clunky dashboards. Finally, we arrive at Section 5, the future procurement team, and how you need to be hiring for the autonomous era. As all these tactical tasks get automated away, you've got to start hiring for a brand new role. We call it the Agent Architect. This is a specialist dedicated entirely to bridging your core business logic with AI orchestration. They aren't in there doing manual sourcing. Instead, they're managing the behavior of your autonomous procurement agents and overseeing the AI governance to make sure strict policy limits are followed. By putting an agent architect at the helm, the rest of your procurement team is finally freed up to focus entirely on what they do best: high-level, strategic decision-making. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final critical thought. The data is definitive. The era of cautious AI experimentation is completely behind us. We are accelerating into a world of autonomous sourcing, continuous ESG monitoring, and MCP-driven transactions. So to all the CPOs out there, the question you absolutely must answer today is this: how will you leverage these scaled AI tools to build proactive resilience in your supply chain before your competitors beat you to it? Thanks so much for tuning in, and here is to building the autonomous procurement strategy of tomorrow today.